I'm CJ Wellerman, thank you for joining us. This week we look at the violent crackdown currently taking place against Muslims in Kenya. But first, a quick reminder to click on the subscribe button below so you don't miss out any future episodes. Now let's get into it. Muslims represent roughly 10% of Kenya's 47 million citizens, with Christians constituting 85% of the total population. But in the same way Muslim minorities throughout Asia, Africa and the Middle East have been victimized in the past 20 years, Kenya's 5 million Muslims have been scapegoated and targeted under the phony War on Terror rubric. And despite the fact Kenyan Muslims represent a diverse range of cultural and ethnic backgrounds, the Kenyan government has portrayed them to be a monolithic force, one vulnerable to so-called Islamic extremist ideologies. This crackdown started almost immediately after terror group Al-Qaeda bombed the US Embassy in Nairobi in 1998. Roll a clip.
It was one of Kenya's darkest days. A horrifying terrorist attack at the United States Embassy on the corner of Moi and Helsalasi Avenues would not just permanently change a portion of the landscape of Nairobi's CBD, but the psyche of Kenyans.
This was Al-Qaeda's first ever attack, putting it at the top of the United States' most wanted list. But rather than focus its attention exclusively on the terror group, the Kenyan government implemented policies to collectively punish the entire Kenyan Muslim population. The government shut down Muslim organizations and incited Christian militant groups to carry out attacks against Muslims in Nairobi. Now, eager to prove to the United States that it's a willing partner in the war on terror and in turn suck up billions of dollars worth of US military aid, the Kenyan government deployed its forces to Somalia to attack the Somali militant group Al-Shabaab in 2011. Play the clip.
Lines of Kenyan military tanks and trucks have moved into Somalia. A Kenyan government spokesman says they have the right to defend themselves and to pursue the enemy. They blame Al-Shabaab for what they describe as the kidnapping of aid workers and other foreigners. But a diplomat familiar with the region questions whether this action will actually be effective against Al-Shabaab.
Kenyan forces would stay in Somalia for 7 months to carry out what was called Operation Sledgehammer, a campaign that resulted in hundreds, but more likely thousands of Somali civilian casualties, including those killed in this air raid here. Watch.
Military spokesman Emmanuel Chicha is saying that they killed at least 10 Al-Shabaab fighters and wounded some 45 others in an airstrike on an Al-Shabaab camp in that part of the country. Now we are getting those other reports from Medicine Sans Frontières, which says that they've treated some more than 50 civilian wounded, people that were all wounded in an airstrike. They say that 3 civilians were killed. And they said they're not saying who was responsible for the airstrike, but they are saying that most of those civilians were in fact women and children who were staying at a camp for displaced people who were seeking refuge from the ongoing drought there.
Now, you don't need to be a counterterrorism expert to know that when you invade another country and kill civilians there, then you can expect to be hit with what security analysts call blowback, which is exactly what happened 2 years later in 2013 when Al-Shabaab crossed into Kenya to attack the Westgate shopping mall in Nairobi, killing 71 people. Go.
Loud explosions, that billowing smoke that has been continuing for at least the last 15 or so minutes. Earlier this morning, we heard from Kenyan officials that they were closing in on the attackers. Perhaps this is evidence of what we've been hearing and seeing this morning. This morning, armed terrorists are reportedly holding roughly a dozen hostages in this supermarket inside the Westgate Mall, as Kenyan troops try to force the militants out without risking innocent lives. This video shows the chaos just after it began at noon on Saturday. 10 to 15 terrorists, including women, attacked the mall wearing black tactical clothing and ski masks, using explosive devices like grenades and
The Kenyan government responded by scapegoating all Muslims and then waging a violent crackdown against ethnic Somali citizens and Somali refugees, resulting in the arrest, torture, deportation and forced disappearance of thousands of innocent men, women and children. Human rights groups urged the Kenyan government to halt its unjustified and criminal crackdown against Muslims in 2014, but to no avail. Roll a clip.
Outside the main mosque in Nairobi, people are anxious about the security crackdown. The government has ordered all refugees to move to designated camps for what it calls security reasons. Thousands of people, mainly Kenyan Somalis and Somali refugees, have been arrested. Most of them are Muslims, and many say they've had enough.
We are going to seek prohibitory injunction in the court of law. On Monday, we are going to file a mandamus, a writ that will going to stop the victimization of the Muslim community in this country.
What activists have revealed from the ground is a campaign of state terror so barbaric that the visuals defy belief, including the detainment of ethnic Somali men, women and children in steel cages. Watch.
Almin Kimathi is a human rights activist. He accuses the police of mistreating those arrested. He says he filmed this video secretly at a police station in Nairobi.
This is a very disturbing scene. It's a courtyard with everybody there. It's men, children, women, in all states of, and a very unhygienic situation. There is a mesh overhead, and that's all they have for cover from the sun, from rains, or vagaries of weather. They're exposed to it.
Predictably, Somali militants crossed into Kenya again to carry out a revenge attack against the Kenyan government in 2019, this time striking a hotel complex in Nairobi, killing 21 people. Go.
An alert. A suspected terror attack is underway in Nairobi at the Dusit Hotel complex. This is video from the scene just moments ago. There you go. Dramatic images, several cars on fire right in front of the gate to the hotel. Officials say armed criminals are still inside. Police are now trying to flush them out, they say. People ran or were carried from the chaotic scene after the gunfire. An explosion erupted, and police say the situation is ongoing.
Which brings us to where we are today, with the Kenyan government and its security forces launching yet another violent crackdown against Muslims. In fact, human rights groups have documented a wave of extrajudicial killings and forced disappearances. Today, Kenyan Muslims are living in a state of government-induced fear. Watch this.
It is impossible. Kenya nzima right now, the whole country, everyone is living in fear. Sahi wameanza ni mawakili. Kesho they'll come after journalists who are covering stories. Tomorrow they'll come for me. And if I don't speak up on this on behalf of hawa watu, nani atakayezungumza kwa niaba yangu mimi? Kesho atakuja kufuata watu wa human rights defenders. If no one is going to speak out now, nani huyu akija kufanyiziwa nani atazungumza kwa niaba yake? Hii ni jukumu la kila mtu. You don't have to be a Muslim to see that the atrocities being committed.
In fact, human rights groups have documented 133 killings, along with 41 cases of abduction and forced disappearances in the past 10 months alone. Roll it.
There is now strong evidence that it is not only the National Police Service that is involved in these grave illegalities, but also other security apparatus. It has alarmingly become a free-for-all. The perpetrators of this repression, wale ambao wanafanya hayo mambo, they have the confidence that they can get away with it, and they act with utmost impunity.
To keep Western governments at bay, however, the Kenyan government hides behind false war on terror narratives that posit Muslims to be exposed and vulnerable to radicalization, a term used to conceal and cover up the government's role in pushing aggrieved Muslims towards armed resistance groups, as explained perfectly here.
The only people radicalizing the youth in Kenya are the Kenyan police by killing Muslims. Like on Sunday here, what did you expect the Muslims to do while they're being shot at inside a mosque?
His words are supported by a study that proved it's the Kenyan government's discriminatory policies against Muslims that is aiding groups like Al-Shabaab, with the overwhelming majority of recruits saying they were drawn towards militancy to avenge the government's targeting of their community. The main culprit here is Kenya's Anti-Terror Police Unit, or ATPU, which Human Rights Watch accused of carrying out a wide range of abuses against Muslims, including extortion, harassment, arbitrary detentions, and intimidation. It said this, and I quote, "Kenyan counterterrorism forces appear to be killing and disappearing people right under the noses of top government officials, major embassies, and the United Nations. This horrendous conduct does not protect Kenyans from terrorism, it simply undermines the rule of law," end quote. For these reasons, Kenyan Muslims are holding nationwide protests against the ATPU and its abduction of well-respected Islamic scholar and lawyer Professor Hassan Nandwa, which is why we must join them and then not relent until they have justice. Muslims are not second-class citizens, and it's high time the government restored their constitutionally protected rights. Well, that's a wrap for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to this channel and help spread the word with your friends and family on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we kindly ask you please support this endeavour by becoming a member of this show at patreon.com/CJ Wellerman, We can't produce, sustain and grow this show without your help, and we offer exclusive benefits to those who do. But for now, good night, good morning, or good day, wherever you are, and stay blessed.